Girbeagly!
Hey there guys and gals, it's Girbeagly with another episode of Gaming with Girbeagly. Once again, I'm starting another new series, mainly because I just got the Humble Bundle from Humble Bundle, which is, you guys should look it up, it's awesome. It's basically a set of games that they pre-pick, and you pay what you want for them. So it can be anything from 1 cent to any amount of money that you want. So, but the catch is that the money goes to the developers and to the charity that is currently being featured, as well as to Humble Bundle itself, so it can continue this amazing operation. It's kind of like what Panera did. I believe it was out on the West Coast, where it was like kind of pay for what you want for the food, and it ended up like evening out. It ended up evening to be about retail price. So those of us who have a little less money, Humble Bundle's great because we can, just pay a fair amount as opposed to an outrageous amount, and you get like 4 or 5 games at once. It's nuts. So anyway, PewDiePie was actually promoting this specific weekly bundle, which came with 5 different indie games, and I just picked that up, and one of these games is Thomas Was Alone, which is sort of a platformer puzzle type game. I played through the first couple levels, which are like tutorial levels, and I immediately fell in love with this. This is way too long of an intro. I'm sorry. Let's just play. I just want to do it justice because it's a beautiful game. The music's gorgeous. The artwork is super minimalist, but it's great. And there's narration, and the guy's voice is incredibly soothing. And the program was a failure. People forget this. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding name strings to the AIs as a joke. Thomas AT23612 wasn't special. It was just an AI in the right place at the right time.
Thomas was alone. Wow. A weird first thought to have.
So I hope you guys can hear that voice. It's a British chap who, or English chap, I'm sorry if I've offended anyone, but basically you just move around the board, trying to get to these portals, and this guy narrates the whole time, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful. Like I said, I only did the first few, so...
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity.
I'm going to try not to talk while
the whole alone thing. 2, portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3, falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
So I'm going to try not to talk during the narration like I did there. It's just the whole experience. I'm sorry I'm talking over it. It's surreal almost, and it's beautiful and all at the same time.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump. It worked! Thomas had solved the great inverted fall mystery.
And it might seem just super simplistic and maybe too basic for some of you, but I personally think...
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
I think as a gamer, as someone who grew up with video games and watched them evolve, that every gaming experience doesn't have to be full of, horror, action, rage, whatever the high-octane subject of the moment is. It can be a beautiful experience, and I'm kind of doing that with To the Moon as well. It's another one of those outside the box. Just appreciate gaming as an entertainment medium that doesn't necessarily have to be full of action, and that's something I love about gaming, is it's constantly evolving, and you make of it what you want to.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment.
Here we go, we gotta run across these as they fall.
Suspect it might even be doing so on purpose. Paranoia.
And it's kind of like it's great because it's a self-aware narration, and it's, you know, I guess the puzzles get a little harder. Like if I had fallen in the water here, I would have died and had to restart the level. But it's just, it's soothing. It's nice to play one of these compared to my horror rage games that I tend to play more of.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important.
And look at these lighting effects. I mean, it's super simple. It's just several geometric shapes. But look at this. The lighting effect, it swaps around as I jump around. And it's like I said, it's nice to play one of these games. And just sort of, it's... I don't want to say it's so much more enriching as it is just... I guess it is enriching in a way, because it sort of diversifies what I'm doing with the channel.
It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills.
And this is about as far as I got.
It had been designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
This is as far as I got when I was just toying around with the game. So right now it's all new content. I don't know what's coming up. Not that I don't think it's going to be a super crazy kind of experience or anything like that, but it's going to be one that's constantly evolving, I feel like, in a great positive way. And I hope my voice is loud enough over the music. I hope you guys can hear me, because I know
something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas.
My cats are doing stuff.
He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
My cats are
He made another mental note.
Making noises.
Water. Not good. To be avoided.
So I guess this is a respawn point, so if I fall in the water here, I will respawn from there, which is nice to know. I have little save points for when it gets a little more difficult.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
And so far, I'm really liking this game. It's I don't know what Pewdie's playthrough was like of it. I know he hand-selected this one as one of the titles in his Humble Bundle. So I'm assuming that either he just enjoyed the experience because it was very deep, or it became a rage game at some point, and maybe just became just one of those standard videos you see of PewDiePie where he screams and rages and the video gets very funny. I don't know if that's what is going to happen here. I hope not, because to be honest, I kind of like this. It's beautiful.
Thomas
it really
had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper. He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
So we have these rapidly changing platforms that are screwing with my jump function, and we'll get through these. They're not too hard, nothing dangerous trying to kill us at the moment. It's kind of a great game to zen out to, and it just looking at it, I know there's probably going to be a lot of you who are like, you know what, Girbeagly, this game is not for me. This is not my type of thing. And I totally respect you for that. That's fine. It's not going to be for everyone. And that's the beauty of gaming, is cats jumping around on your furniture in the background. And my girlfriend going to go kill the cat. But that's the beauty of gaming, is you can find what you like. And you can find a game that really speaks to you, and you can play that game if you want to. And personally, right now, this is great. So I guess the Humble Bundle is going on for a few more days, so be sure to pick it up, guys. Anyone can afford it. I submitted hundreds of bug reports. I told that idiot this would happen. Overlapping scripts, more than one AI was bound to be spawned into an environment at some point. Turns out I missed the point. That little error changed everything. So these are, I guess these are...
Thomas took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
Oh, you can jump on each other. I guess those are like messages from like fake members of the company who made this, or maybe a company who made it. So this will let me scroll through the available characters. So so now I'm a fat block, square block. So we both have to go in the doors at once. Ow, hit my knee.
Chris had been doing fine.
Oh.
He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times.
So,
actually, not technically graceful, it's probably the wrong word, but, you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
Alright, so I guess I have to do a little bit of co-op work between the two shapes, where, you know, people are jumping off of each other. I like that each shape represents a person, represents a personality. And that's great. So we have Christopher and we have Thomas, who is not alone anymore, apparently, because he is helping Chris out here. Chris the Square. This is great. I hope this soundtrack is available somewhere, because I do want to... I believe I got it with the Humble Bundle, but I'll have to double check on that. So, as Thomas... yes. And that's gorgeous. That's I think that's where we're going to end it for the day. Or for the episode, for the day. It's not day at all right now. It's actually pretty late at night, and I should be getting ready for bed soon. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this game. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, comment, share, favorite it, do all that great stuff. Let me know if this type of game is something you'd love to watch. Sorry, the commentary, you know, for these types of things, this and like To the Moon, I tend not to be quite as humorous, because they are experiences that are designed around, I don't know if they're more profound themes, but at the very least they're more serious in nature than, you know, something like Super Meat Boy or any of those other rage platformers that I play. So anyway, guys, like I said before, do all that. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't before. And as always, it was great seeing you. Bye-bye. And really, I just started the channel as a way to, I don't know, sort of document the games I was playing. And for the few people who are willing to watch, just to rage forever!